So I was pondering on a walk, which is something that I usually do, and I remembered something that I think we all forget. And that thought is that we are all actually a lot luckier than we think we are. Let me explain. If you have all of your limbs, you're not suffering from any severe illness, or you're not suffering from some weird disease, and you actually live a pretty normal life, I would say you're pretty damn lucky. If your biggest problem is something like mine, where you're just trying to lose some body fat, or you're trying to, reduce your acne or something, that's a pretty good life. That's not that bad, actually. And now that I just kind of say that out loud, like my biggest problem is trying to make more money or trying to lose body fat, like that's not even bad. The fact that I could just go upstairs and just go and eat something and have no issues finding anything healthy, or I can afford healthy food even, that's pretty lucky. Now, this video isn't supposed to be like boasty or anything. I don't want you to think that I'm just being like some like pompous asshole or something. But I want you to do that same exercise with yourself. Like, what is your biggest problem? It's probably not even that bad, especially in the grand scheme of things. Are you trying to study for that exam so that you can at least get a decent grade? Or maybe you're trying to get a promotion so you can make a little bit more money, and you already make a lot of money, but more is always nicer, right? These are honestly great problems to have because that means you have all your basics covered. You feel me? But I want to talk about those basics for a second. I mean, what are they? And that is like your shelter, where your next meal is coming from, the fact that you have like clean water, you have clothing. And if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, you probably sit somewhere at the top. I know this is supposed to be more of like an unedited, more unfiltered video where I just kind of speak and I have my notes here. I'm going to put a little picture here on the screen. Hopefully that's appearing nicely. And I just want to show the Maslow's hierarchy of needs that I mentioned just a little bit ago. But I just want you to see where you sit on this pyramid. And if you sit somewhere around the top near the self-actualization or even the esteem, I would say you're living pretty damn good. Now, if you're sitting down somewhere at the bottom where you need your physiological needs or your safety needs met, okay, maybe you're not as lucky as we think, but chances are if you're watching this video on your little iPhone, you're probably somewhere in the middle or top. Your biggest problem is probably such a first world problem. Just think about it for a second. Maybe you're going on a road trip and your phone's at 20% and it's gonna drop down to 10 so you can't play phone games in the passenger seat. That's your problem right now. Like these little things, they seem so significant because it's all relative. I'll take an example right now. My biggest problem right now is probably looking for ways to make more money. Okay, well, there's some people out there who have zero money and they're just trying to make money to survive. I'm just trying to make money so I can buy more fun camera equipment or something like that. Like, we're not the same. And okay, this kind of sounds like that meme, but or another problem is trying to just build my YouTube channel. Yes, it is a problem, but it's a pretty first world problem. You won't see someone who's starving out there trying to think like, "Oh, my YouTube channel needs to grow." No, that's such a lucky problem to have. Even just saying this out loud makes me feel like an entitled fool, but I guarantee you and I aren't so different. Considering you're using your free time to watch this YouTube video from me and you're not trying to grind and survive in a war-torn country, that says a lot. If you live in like Canada or the US and you're just kind of chilling in your bedroom where you're playing video games and you're nice and comfortable and you got your next meal already just good to go and you never have to worry about starving, like, dude, you're doing great. I would say chances are maybe you're stuck in a position right now and it's probably a short-term thing. Like maybe you're struggling with your grades, but guess what? In a few months, that semester is going to be over. You're going to be on the next one. It's not going to matter. I remember when I was in university, one of my biggest problems were just trying not to fail this one class. But that was so long ago, and as soon as that class was over, that problem was gone. I don't even think I only thought about it right now because of the video example. That's it. But I would say if you had a great childhood, you grew up nicely, you had loving, caring parents who really gave a shit about you, which I hope that's you. I really hope that is. You're doing pretty damn good, I would say. So I could go on and on about this, but here's some other things that you should always remember when it comes to just feeling lucky and realizing your life is a lot better than you think it is. So let's start with number one, and that's going to be, again, your health. I mentioned it previously briefly, but having good health is probably one of the best things to have, especially in today's disease, cancer-ridden world, everyone's dying from literally freaking everything, like heart disease and all this crap, man. It's a scary world out there, but the thing is, if you're not suffering from anything like that, you don't have diabetes, your heart's working great, you're in good shape, like you're doing great, bro. And the thing is, I look at myself and I'm not suffering from anything bad either. Like my worst thing is my body fat is just a little bit high, but it's going down. Like I said, I have some acne, but I'm currently fixing that right now and save that for another video, but I got nothing to complain about. I'm just being a bitch. And just on the topic of health, If you go to the doctor because you want to and you're just trying to get your yearly checkups and not because you have to, I would say you're living golden. Going to the doctor because you want to, that's like a privilege. Some people have to go to the doctor because they got something wrong, right? If you got nothing seriously wrong with you and you're actually a relatively healthy person, even if you don't work out, you are one lucky bastard. All right, next up, we got to talk about education because we live in a time where education is more plentiful and bountiful than ever. You can go and Google anything you want to learn in all of human history. Maybe you want to learn how to play the harp. I don't know, that's just a random example. You just Google it. There's 100 harp examples on YouTube and how to play and learn. That's so cool. That's kind of sick. Like, I want to learn how to play drum. I'm actually sitting here at my drum set because I just wanted to change the scenery up. And the fact that I can just Google anything. Maybe I want to learn how to play like faster double kick speed. Like, I can just Google that. That was kind of fun. And in more recent advancements, you don't even need to Google it. You can chat GPT it. You can just have an AI write everything for you. I sound like a boomer now, so I'm just gonna move on to the next point. But the next point I want to talk about is time. And is that if you actually have free time to pursue hobbies like me working on my YouTube channel, or even if I just want to learn how to play some drum, I can just do that. That's so sick. The fact that I have time to work on my YouTube channel and that I don't have to grind 16 hours a day just so I can survive, that's amazing. And the thing is, I value my time so much more than just a few extra dollars. The fact that I get to work fully remote and I get to kind of have my own schedule, and as long as I get my work done, then everything's okay. Most people wish they could have that. And like, this is even me just being extra lucky. Like, most people, yeah, they have money, they have jobs, but maybe they don't like their jobs that much or their job sucks, right? But I gotta say, I'm pretty blessed to be where I am, and I think if you just dig a little deep, I think you'll find that, you know what, your situation's not so bad either. Now, I know that work and free time is one of those things, it can be tricky, but if you can spend like 4 hours a day doom scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, you got free time. And even that, I don't condone doom scrolling, but the fact that you have hours of free time a day to do that, that says something. And then lastly, I'll just talk about modern conveniences because like that's something I just gotta mention. If you live in like a first world country, then you have like access to hot water at any time. You got electricity all the time. I got these lights and everything. If I need to get around town, well, guess what? I have my own car. It's not the nicest car, but it works and it's efficient and it's actually pretty cheap. I mean, it's a Civic, but hey, does the job. I can take a bus. I can take the train. Like, and it's relatively cheap. I mean, all these options that I just have to me at my disposal at pretty much any time. Okay, well, I could go on forever, but I think you're starting to get the point. So why am I making this video in the first place? Why am I just talking about being lucky and actually think about it? Is that I want you to think about this. Like, I know it almost sounds like I'm having some sort of like epiphany or something. I mean, this is nothing new. It's just something that we forget. And the reason I'm making this is I want to remind you that, dude, life is pretty damn cool. And we are living in one of these times where it's like, what the hell? It's absurd. Like the fact that I can go on the internet and find anything I want ever. 20 years ago, that wouldn't even be a thing. That's pretty damn recent. But I hope this video just helps you remember how lucky you actually are. And if it did, you gotta drop a like and a sub. I'm sorry, this sounds cringy, but it helps the channel a lot. And I just hope that I helped your life even a little bit because that's all I want to do, man. Well, that's all I got for you. So see you on the next one.